From the East and the West, you've heard others, but now you've tuned into the best. This is a Prime Wave Media production.
Take two. Once again, it's the one and only Pop DiBiase, the primetime capper, and this is the Primetime Angles Live, the premier sports betting show. And boy, oh boy, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling great. It is Monday, March 8th, and we are only a week away from the big dance. But right now, let's go ahead and talk about the big news in the NBA. Blake Griffin, six-time All-Star, just bought out by the Pistons, has now signed up with the Nets. And guess who called that on this show before they were even thinking about buying out Blake Griffin? I told y'all that Blake Griffin would either be a Net or a Laker by the time we got done with the All-Star break. And there it is. Blake Griffin is now on part of the Nets. What does this mean? They called him a four-headed monster the other night. I said, damn. They showing Blake a lot of love for a guy that they literally were throwing away last week when he was in Detroit. So pretty much you see how things change when you go to a different team. So now they see Blake Griffin where he can revive his career in Brooklyn and everything's going to be right. Everything's going to look good. And they cannot wait to go ahead and see what's going to be on display with KD, Kyrie, Harden, and now Blake Griffin. Blake Griffin, his best years are behind him. Blake Griffin is like Dave Justice in Moneyball when he played for the A's. It's not about what you did in the past. It's about your brain now of what's going on in the NBA. You know, they're using his vet awareness to help them out a bit because this guy does actually make up for the two spots you might be missing because they just got rid of Amon Shumpert because that was a waste of time with him. And pretty much they don't want guys just hanging out on the team just to get a ring and just be at practice. They want guys active, being able to be out there helping them contribute to a win. You know, losing Spencer Dinwiddie was huge because Spencer Dinwiddie was going to really be the fourth head on the three-headed monster. He was going to be the go-to guy, but he hurt his leg. Now you have Blake Griffin here, who's a good vet. He has a positive team here, and he's in a good place where he's wanted at. In Detroit, they were kind of doing what football and baseball teams do, kind of going back and trying to get a blast from the past from Derrick Rose and Blake Griffin, but at the same time using them as assets to get, you know, second round draft picks, late first rounders, things of that nature from these top tier teams in the NBA. They knew exactly what they were doing, and pretty much they couldn't get anything for Blake Griffin, but they were able to come up off of Derrick Rose, okay? And Derrick Rose simply because Derrick Rose was MVP. So at the end of the day, Blake Griffin joins up with the Nets. This is going to be huge, and pretty much I still think that they may need another player down the road, not a big name, but a guy who can do a guy who's pretty good in the NBA, who can really be a good role player, because I still see Philly as the favorite to get to the finals. I'm sorry, because Embiid is having a season out of his mind, and when you got a 6'10" point guard, things are different. And then we always sleep on Tobias Harris. Tobias Harris is going to be the X factor here when they get into this series. So you just can't wait, man. Philly and Brooklyn, it's going to be crazy. It's going to be nuts. And then Boston's still sitting around the corner saying, respect my authority. So we'll see how it goes. So pretty much that's a wrap on Blake Griffin to the Nets, and we'll have more on this as the week progresses. So let's move forward and let's go ahead and jump into that All-Star Week. And All-Star Weekend was an absolute dud, in my opinion. I think that All-Star Weekend could have been so much better than it actually was. But the thing was, though, it was rushed. They said that they was going to have it. Then they did have it. Then your best players really weren't interested in being a part of it. I almost said that you could have just had the Rising Stars game on Sunday and called it a day, because pretty much we all want to see the young boys anyway and see what they about, because they're going to play with heart. They're going to play hungry. Yeah, honestly, they said as soon as that game started, they said, we're not going to play any type of defense, okay? We just going to go out here and go play some basketball, but defense is not going to be a part of this game today, okay? It's that simple. So pretty much LeBron was out there, scored 4 points in 13 minutes, said, I'm going to take a break for the rest of the night. Sabonis was won the skills challenge. That's a center winning the skills challenge. Come on, that just goes to show you how uninterested these guys was, and they really didn't have the players they would have really actually had there, because they didn't have a true all-star weekend. That's the whole thing. But one thing to take away from it is Giannis became a big boy. He really became somebody. He finally had a really great performance on national television, in my opinion. He goes 16 for 16. That was awesome to watch. But, y'all always say I'm so hard on Steph Curry. I don't try to be hard on Steph Curry. I just know that Steph Curry isn't going to be with us as long as you think he is. I think Steph Curry probably has a good 3 years left at the top as a top echelon player. But last night, he really showed that he has been able to help change this game over the last decade or so, shooting the ball from half court and absolutely not even hitting the rim. It was all net. You know what I mean? Walter getting wet. That's what I'm talking about. And pretty much Steph put on a show last night, and I thought he was going to win the MVP, but I think he was pretty good with the three-point championship last night, something that has eluded him for the last 5 years. So pretty much with that, All-Star Weekend was a dud. But if you like alley-oop, slam dunks, crazy trick shots, it was still a great game for you. But all in all, though, I don't like when you mess up tradition. All-Star Weekend had a great tradition to it. I haven't seen a really, really good All-Star game since 1998 when young Kobe went after the god Jordan at the Garden. I haven't seen one since. You know what I mean? They've been good, but they've been forced. It wasn't like a real game. They got smoked that day, the Western Conference, simply because the East had all the vets and all the players that had real credibility in the league at the time. So that's why they got smoked. But still, you saw the future. You saw great glimpses of the future and what the future was going to be. And it was East versus West. We got to stop this team LeBron and team Durant and team all this, that. Players shouldn't be choose. The fans have the right to choose the players. So play with your respective conference and call it a day. But I do like the rule when it comes down to resetting the quarters. It does make sense because these all-star games started getting really out of control because there was too much scoreboard watching. Now they actually play pretty intensely throughout the game. So I think you keep that same format, but go back to the East and West format, and it will be a much funner, a much better game as well, too. These guys are all talented on each side, so why not? You know what I mean? So there it is with that, and we move forward, and let's go ahead and jump into our second half expectations. Up first, trade deadline. I would see Brooklyn as a big player in the trade deadline. I see Houston as a big player on the trade deadline as well, too, meaning that they're bringing in assets, meaning that they're bringing in draft picks. Also, the Lakers, they will be a buyout market team. They're not going to be a team that's going to make a big trade at the trade deadline. There's really no way that they're going to be able to make a big trade because there's a lot of players they're very happy with and they don't want to part ways with. But if the deal is right, I think Pelinka will go ahead and pull the trigger on that. But I wouldn't consider them one of the teams that will be sitting there busy on the phone on trade deadline day. Philly will be another team that's going to be right there at the trade deadline. Same thing with the Clippers as well, too. And I think the Celtics will throw their hat in the ring for probably a high-end buyout market player or somebody they can trade for because Boston does have the pieces to go ahead and do that as well, too. And the Eastern Conference, to me, is going to be very wide open as well, too. So you have the Sixers, the Nets, the Celtics. And then you have to remember there's other teams that are sitting on the outside looking in, like the Heat, who went to the finals last year. That's another team that can make a splash deal on the trade deadline or pick up somebody on the buyout market as well, too. So the NBA is going to be very exciting here in the second half. There's actually a schedule that all of us aren't very familiar with because they didn't make a second half schedule right away. The second half schedule will be in place now And so pretty much these games do change up, and they're going to really factor in different things going into all these games as we move down the road. So these games are set up a certain way for a reason. So pretty much I do think that all in all, the wide open Eastern Conference is going to be the story of the playoffs when it comes to fruition and everything like that. And I really still feel like the West still runs through Staples. It's either going to be it's a Clipper or a Laker situation, but really the Lakers already know what time it is. They know that they're the defending champions, and everything Western has to go through Staples, and it has to go through the Lakers side of Staples for sure, even when they play the Clippers as well too, which will hopefully happen in the conference championship this year as well too, because the Lakers, that's the place where you'll see them play the Clippers at, in my opinion, is the conference championship if they're able to link it up with the Clippers this year. So pretty much with that, the second half expectations, I expect the Lakers Clippers to be in a chess match, and I expect that the East to be really already in their Final Four, and these four teams are going to be one of these four teams will be a representative. But we'll see as the season progresses. There's going to be more moves made every week. So we're going to see how it goes. But the NBA is looking beautiful right now. And even the team that I'm wearing today, the Knicks, is looking like a playoff team right now. And they look like they could be the 6th seed in the East. So they maybe might scare up some wins here late in the year. So Knicks fans, don't be too sad. Your boys are back on the rise. So with that, let's go ahead and talk about 30 teams in 30 days. And boy, oh boy, we got the Kansas City Royals today, 26-34, fourth in the AL Central last season. This team to me represents a team that's on the up and up, but they're going to be another team that's going to be moving assets as well too when it comes down to trade deadlines, things of that nature. They want to bolster up that farm system a little bit more for the next coming years and things of that nature, because you have to understand teams like the Kansas City Royals, they're only going to be good every 25 years, probably. You know what I mean? Seriously. It took them so long to get back to even into playoff contention. These guys hadn't went to a playoff in almost 30 years the last time they were making a big run. Yes, they did win a World Series a few years back and everything like that, but that's the past. This is now, and they only really have one player left over from that unit as well too. That's Salvador Perez, but pretty much their star player to me is going to be a guy by the name of Whit Merrifield. Whit Merrifield can do everything. It looks like he's going to be able to be their he's going to be their leadoff man. So you got a guy who steals bases. You got a guy who scores a lot of runs as well too, and he got a little bit of pop. And he drives and runs as well too. But their power hitter is going to be Jorge Soler, who's been around the block a little bit, who's a very good player as well too. And we can expect some big things coming from Soler as well. 245 batting average, 33 home runs, 91 RBI, 77 runs. So he might be a guy that strikes out a lot, but when he does get contact, it always winds up being something pretty big for the Royals. So I can tell you this, the Royals will be a very good team when it comes down to betting them in a big spot where you say got them as a plus 180, plus 190 against a division rival or something of that nature, and they can come out big for you. They're going to be a dog of the day a lot next season for a lot of people. You know what I mean? Just in certain spots, though. You know what I mean? And the Royals will be a better home team than they are a road team as well, in my opinion. So with that, the 30 teams in 30 days, the Kansas City Royals, I got those boys going under 73.5 wins. I think at best they're a 70-win team or below, to be that honest with you. I think that it's going to be really rough for this team. They're going to run into rough patches a lot during the season, but they're going to also have a groove time as well too, and you got to catch them when they hit the groove. So pretty much that's my keys to MLB baseball. Just because I have you going under in games, that doesn't mean I'm not going to put some money on you, because some of those games that you not supposed to win, you going to win. I'm going to try to be on that same side with you. So, hey, it is what it is at the end of the day. As they say, who's your favorite team? I like them all. So, hey, it is what it is. But the Kansas City Royals, I don't expect much from them this season. If they're better than 73.5 wins, good for them. But other than that, I don't see much happening with this team. So there it is for that. And let's go ahead and look at our sponsor real quick. Hatclub.com. These guys are the absolute best. You guys can go ahead and get every hat from every professional sports team, college team, right here at www.hatclub.com. And they got a lot of creative hats as well, too. The Barry hats, the anniversary caps as well. So you guys, man, dig in and go ahead and invest, man. And you guys already know, you hit that link in the description, you will get a 10% off on any order that's $50 or better. Once again, that's over at the www.hatclub.com, and that link is in our show description. You get 10% off on any order that's $50 or better. So with that, we will be right back with the premier sports betting show, the Primetime Ankles Live, with the one and only Pop DiBiase, the Primetime Capper. The Viget app, where social media meets sports betting. Get the latest line movements in all major sports. Track your daily bets, daily contests, the NFL over-under contest that pays out $10K in cash prizes. This is a cutting-edge app that helps betting be easy. Sign up with the reference code POPDBIC and you will be able to watch my daily show, The Primetime Ankles, as a resource to building that bankroll. Viget is available in your Apple or Google Store on your iOS or Android. The social sports betting app, Viget. All right, we're back with the Primetime Angles, and this was supposed to be me and Jeff's segment and everything like that, but Jeff will be with us tomorrow, so the show must go on. So pretty much, let's go ahead and talk about it. Up first, we got Illinois, who got a big win over Ohio State Saturday on the road. Number 4, Illinois pretty much ensures their chance to be the number 1 seed in the tournament as well too. I don't know which region, but most likely, if we were playing in the regular format of college basketball, they would be they would be the Midwest number 1 seed, or they will be the South number 1 seed, one or the other, because we're going to have 2 Big Ten teams as number 1 seeds, most likely Michigan and Illinois. But Illinois has really earned the opportunity to be a number 1 seed with big wins over 2, a 4, and a 5 as well too. So pretty much they've beaten a lot of really good teams as of late. Same thing goes for Michigan State, who literally have snuck into the tournament with the big win over Michigan yesterday. So the Big Ten tournament is going to wind up being a tournament that can be an all-time classic. So when we get Jeff in tomorrow, we're going to break down the brackets for it a little bit deeper for you guys to show you where the upsets can happen at and let you guys know that teams that have to win in that tournament and teams that can afford to lose in that tournament as well too. But the Big Ten is brewing up something very special here. I cannot wait for the outcome of what's going to occur here with the Big Ten tournament this week. I look forward to it. My eyes will be glued to it, and I'll be all up on game for you guys, so you guys don't have to worry about a thing. All right, so literally, let's go ahead and move on to another big upset that we had here, and that's going to be the upset that occurred with the Oklahoma State and West Virginia. Number 6 team in the nation, West Virginia, literally came into the game. They was feeling themselves, feeling real good about things. And then what happened was it's just pretty much Oklahoma State stepped it up as a team. They didn't need to rely on the possible future number 1 pick in the draft. They went ahead and handled their business as a team, and you have to respect that portion and say that, okay, Oklahoma State is really in place right now to be a spoiler because they have a big-time player, and then they have a team to back that up as well, too. So this is a team that could possibly make a move to the Sweet 16, to the Elite 8, and it's going to be very televised because they have a very high-end player there as well, too. So pretty much Oklahoma State is in the driver's seat to do some big things this year and could possibly steal this Big 12 tournament with that big win over West Virginia, being their 5th in a row, and them going into this tournament and pretty much now they will have a whole lot of momentum coming in here and a whole lot of confidence as well, too. So these are the teams that you really don't want to go against. So pretty much at the end of the day, Oklahoma State got themselves a huge win here They are looking good, man. At this point, there was a lot of times that I doubted them during the season. I thought that they were a little overrated, and now they really started to play within their own, and that's a beautiful thing to watch, and that's a beautiful thing to witness as well too. Because you really thought that they would have been a team that you possibly makes the tournament, but they get upset by some little lowly college or something as a 4 or 5 seed. But you know what? This Oklahoma State team could be a big winner opening weekend of the tournament as well too, over one of these top schools as well. So pretty much be on the lookout for Oklahoma State. They are a team that is red hot right now, and the momentum is riding high. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about Virginia winning their third ACC title in the last 4 years, and pretty much that's his regular season as well. Will they win the conference tourney? That's the question right now. I said to myself when I look at this bracket that the ACC is wide open. It's not anybody's conference to really just go ahead and run away with at this point. I think that what happens here with this conference is that pretty much you're going to have a team here in Virginia that's is seen as the leader in the clubhouse, but that means absolutely nothing because you got a Syracuse team that possibly can go ahead and get a monster upset over Virginia. Then you got this Georgia Tech team coming in here ranked 4th, and they could possibly lose their opening game as well too. You got a tough Clemson team that's going to probably be there because you're going to have a great matchup between Pitt and Miami to start off. And I look at these teams that will play in the first round. I got a team that could possibly make it to the semifinals, and that's going to be Notre Dame. Notre Dame has kind of a cakey walk. They got they got Wake Forest, they got a shaky North Carolina, and come on, you got Virginia Tech waiting for you in the quarters. So pretty much, I think that if you're a team on the outside looking in and you're a lower seed, Notre Dame is probably in the best spot, in my opinion. The rest of these teams, though, they're going to be in a little bit of trouble. But all in all, though, I do expect the Final Four for this to be between literally the top teams in this conference. And so pretty much I got Virginia there. I have Florida State there. And then also I would say that, North Carolina has great chance to be here as well too, and Luke sneak in there as well for that Final Four because I'm looking at it right now. When you get down here to the quarters, this is suspect when you got Georgia Tech and Virginia Tech here, but they've had great seasons. Georgia Tech undefeated home team as well, so it is what it is at the end of the day. But this is going to be a great bracket. This is going to be a great tournament. I cannot wait. I look forward to it. All right, so pretty much let's move on to the Big East, and we'll talk about the Big East some more tomorrow when we have Jeff. This was specifically because I was going to have Jeff on the show today, but the Big East Tourney at Madison Square Garden, a tradition like none other. And pretty much I have some tape and everything for us tomorrow too, but the great coaches like John Thompson, great players like Chris Mullen and Mark Jackson, Patrick Ewing, Scooney Penn when he played for Pitt. Also, pretty much Felipe Lopez, Ron Artest. The list goes on and on. The legends that played in the Garden, that played in this tournament, and just put their blood, sweat, and tears on the court. This is the best tournament in all of college basketball. This is what college basketball is all about. Big East Tourney at the MSG at the Garden, baby. Let's go ahead and take a quick look at that bracket, though. You see Georgetown, Georgetown Marquette, they get the chance to play against the number 1 seed. They get a chance to golf with number 1 seed. Then you got St. John's, the most dangerous team in the tournament. Vince Cole and the gang got a monster win over Seton Hall, but this will be their toughest game of the season in a rematch against Seton Hall. Then you got Creighton over here being the 3rd seed in the tournament, the 2nd seed in the tournament, actually. They'll have themselves a toughie with Xavier and Butler, with the winner of Xavier and Butler. Xavier can run the table and get all the way to the championship game. And then Providence and DePaul, they give us a pretty good matchup as well, too. But I pretty much have an idea that Providence should go ahead and run away with that one. And then Providence has to prove themselves against UConn, who's right back into the mix and the number 3 team in this tournament. And it feels like UConn ain't never left the Big East at this point right now. So it's going to be fun. I cannot wait. This is Big East tournament. Oh my God, it's gonna be awesome. It's gonna start on Wednesday as well too. So y'all be tuned in, man. It's gonna be nothing but the dramatics at the Garden, bro. That's all I can say. So with that, we're gonna go ahead and check out our other sponsor here, and that's sorry about that. Before we get to our sponsor, let's talk about the game of the night. Game of the night, in my favorite conference, the Metro Atlantic, and pretty much the Metro. We got I'm a rider for life going against Canisius. And I'm gonna go with a Ryder today. I got Ryder on the money line for this one as well too. I think Ryder will be good money for us in this spot. And so, pretty much you always want to go with the doggy dog in the first game of the Metro because they always seem to win that game as well too. So Ryder, get us home. That's all I can say. All right. So with that, when you guys are pulling up in your favorite big city and you guys need a car to rent, don't go to Hertz. Don't go to Enterprise. Go to 6T.com where you can rent, share, ride, and you guys will be able to get yourself a Benz Beamer for the same price that you get that Prius or that Corolla for. And you guys can go ahead and get that 10% off when you press the link to go straight to the website in our show description as well too. Once again, 6T.com, ride in style, rent, share, ride, and the description link for the 10% off is in the show link. So there it is. We will be right back. This is the Premier Sports Betting Show, the Primetime Angles with the one and only Pop DiBiase, the Primetime Captain.
Good News Only Racing Club, led by the legendary Doug O'Neill, the trainer of 2 Kentucky Derby winners, and I'll have another in Nyquist. Also trained 2-time Breeders' Cup champ Golden Sense, who are just a part of a long list of thoroughbred champions trained by Doug O'Neill. The Good News Only Racing Club has a young core of horses to look out for in Dennis's Celery, Irish Heatwave, and Notre Dame, just to name a few. Win the day every day with the Good News Only Racing Club, a proud sponsor of the NFL Bet Exchange.
From the East and the West, you've heard others, but now you've tuned into the best. This is a Prime Wave Media production.
Tune into Big Wave Boxing every week with a brand new guest with the one and only Pop DiBiase, the Primetime Capper, getting the best boxing stories, best boxing angles, and the truth when it all comes down to the sweet science. Tune into Big Wave Boxing on the Prime Wave Media channel on YouTube. No. All right, so we are back with the Premier Sports Betting Show, the Primetime Angles Live with the one and only Pop DiBiase, the Primetime Capper. And boy, I want to send a big shout out to everybody who's been really supporting and loving the show and everything like that. I truly appreciate you guys. You guys keep me motivated on putting this out and trying to put out the best possible product that we can. So you guys keep doing what you do, keep me motivated, and we keep going from there, baby. That's it. So pretty much let's go ahead and talk about a big day. This is a tourney day. We ain't got no more regular season games. Colonial tourney bets for the night. We got Elon, who's been good to me all weekend. Pretty much Elon, I do feel like they can't go ahead and get the win tonight with the +5. Let's see how that shakes out. I think that we in a good spot, so let's see how it goes. Then we got Northeastern with the money line as well, too. We got the +105, and I think Northeastern will be pretty good in this toss-up game. So we'll see how it goes, but man, let's see how. Let's make sure that we can go ahead and get this one home. And hey, I'm telling you, just we got to keep our eyes on the prize. So we move forward to our next game, to our next group. And our next group is going to be the Horizon Tourney Bets. We're going to rock with Cleveland State today with the -3.5. They are seen as probably one of the best teams in the conference, if not the best team in the conference. So to me, I don't say they should cruise today, but I think they should win by this game by 5 or more points. And then we have North Kentucky. I feel like they can go ahead and get themselves a good win today as well, too. I got them with the -105. Let's see how it shakes out on their side. All right, we move on to our next, and our next is going to be Mercer. I got Mercer winning the Southern title today with the +175. This team has a turning coach, and they always seem to play their best in games like this. So that's what I'm going to do here. I'm going to take Mercer with the plus 175. And then we have Oral Roberts plus 4.5. I think we should be good in this spot as well, too. Let's just go ahead and get the cover. They could possibly win, but we'll see how it goes. And then we got the South Dakota money line as well, too, plus 130. And go ahead and say what you like. And then what else do we have? We have the WCC tournament. We have St. Mary's pretty much with the plus 18.5. And then we have Pepperdine with the plus 7.5. So pretty much with that, we will be right back with the Primetime Angles, and that's our bets list for today.
The Viget app, where social media meets sports betting. Get the latest line movements in all major sports. Track your daily bets, daily contests, the NFL over-under contest that pays out $10K in cash prizes. This is a cutting-edge app that helps betting be easy. Sign up with the reference code POPDBIC and you will be able to watch my daily show, The Primetime Angles, as a resource to building that bankroll. Viget is available in your Apple or Google Store on your iOS or Android. The social sports betting app, Viget.
From the East and the West, you've heard others, but now you've tuned into the best. This is a Prime Wave Media production.
All right, we are back with the Primetime Angles with the one and only Pop DBIC, the Primetime Capper, and this is the premier sports betting show. So let's go ahead and get into it. We are talking tickets right now, and let's go ahead and talk about the pick six for today. Once again, Elon is a part of our group today with the 37-1. Also, we're going to take Cleveland State money line just to be on the safe side of things as in this group with the minus 170. Also added Oral Roberts. That's how confident I am in them today as well, too. Plus 4.5. Also added Georgia State with the minus 7. And then we also the plus 18 with St. Mary's, who's going against Gonzaga tonight. And then we also have the Northern Kentucky money line as well, too, with the minus 120. And there it is with the primetime pick 6, 37-1 tonight. We should see some good benefits tonight if we're able to hit this bad boy. It's a little bit lower on the pick 6 than it usually is, but I think I just want to go ahead and give us a ticket that we'll go ahead and cash out and help you pay your rent this week. So there it is. We move forward from there. Let's talk about the dog pick 4. And in the dog pick 4, we're going to go ahead and take the Mercer money line. Once again, plus 170 on that spot. That had dropped down a little bit. And then once again, I'm a rider for life. Plus 210 money line on Rider tonight. And then we got Northeastern with the plus 105. And then hand me South Dakota money line with the plus 140 tonight. So let's see how it shakes out. Let's see how it goes. We move from there. And I think that we should have ourselves a very, very, very fun ticket here. I think that everything works out very well for us tonight if we are able to hit either or. But pretty much that dog pick 4, 41-1, $20 gets you 820. So do what you do, baby. I think that this could be the one because this is a Monday and Mondays are very moody. All right. So with that, let's go ahead and check out UWager where the world bets at. You guys can put in the promo code POP80 and then you guys will receive up to a 50% match deposit. And that pretty much means you put up $250, they'll put up a $125 free play. Now you in the game with their money and pretty much you go ahead and just run with their money and have your money just sit there and be cool. You feel what I'm saying? So just keep stacking, single what you like here, and then I think that you could be a great success and have that check on Monday with your wager. So pretty much, keep tuning in. And also to the people who are tuning in today and want to be a part of the movement, you guys can also go to the website, primewavemedia.net. I have plenty of packages there that are very affordable as well. But also you guys can DM me personally, and then I can set you up with the little new client deal that I have in place that's just between, the owner's special, but you got to holler at me directly. So then, pretty much I can go ahead and go over it with you as well too. But I think it's a pretty good deal. So pretty much holler at me either on my Twitter at PopDiBiase, or you guys can go ahead and email me at popdbiase425@gmail, and we can go from there. Or you guys can just hit me up on the website, and we'll go from there as well too. So once again, you guys, if you want to get a part of the movement, go to primewavemedia.net, and then go ahead and follow those handles right there, and stop playing with yourself. If you haven't subscribed to this channel yet, you tripping if you watch this every day. So make sure you subscribe to the channel as well. It's right there, Prime Wave Media. So there it is. I thank you guys so much for tuning in once again today. We'll have Jeff Dawson with us tomorrow for a great one. We're going to be talking more college basketball. We're going to be talking the state of the Lakers as well, too, moving forward. So you guys just keep tuning in, and the movement is moving. As I always say, bet with your head, not with your heart. This is the premier sports betting show, hosted by the one and only Pop DiBiase, the primetime capper, and this is the Primetime Angles live, and I am gone.
From the East and the West, you've heard others, but now you've tuned into the best. This is a Prime Wave Media production.